I'm excited and scared at the same next
time.
level, then you know what the levels are and the processes. I don't know exactly what the process is,
Right.
but I would say for you, write down your process, like what is the process and what are the steps, and that way when you onboard people, like when you have calls like this with people who are interested in your service, now you ask the
Nepal, have you
qualifying.
ever seen these Nepalese shoes?
No, not really.
Okay, or like, or even I was gonna say, I don't know where in Africa they have, because I've seen also like West African slipper sandals that kind of do that the toe curls up,
Oh,
and
yes, yes, yes.
they're like they could be embroidered, but the one in Nepal and India they have like a lot more um stitching or
I
beading.
see. I see what
Yeah,
you're talking about. I have one here.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So
Let
I
me
was
get it. Let me get it to show it to you.
okay.
I think you're talking about one of these.
Yeah,
I cannot hear you anymore.
you can you can hear me.
I hear you. I hear you now.
You can hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
hear you now.
Okay, hold on.
You just stopped for a second.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, that's it. Where are you from?
I'm from Cameroon, West
Okay,
Africa.
Cameroon. Yeah,
Yes.
no, no, no. I know Cameroon. I have friends from Cameroon. Okay, cool. So, tu parles français?
Oui, je parle très bien français.
Ah oui, c'est bon.
But-
Je parle un petit peu. Je parle espagnol très
okay.
bien, mais mon français est bon,
So where are
mauvais.
you? Where are you from?
New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah, New York. But yeah, no, so those shoes like that. Now, what I love about those shoes is that they're flat, right? I
Right.
mean, the sole is flat. Usually they're made from like some simple material, like a leather or something. But what
Mm-hmm.
I don't love about them is that the toe is narrow. So I need the toe to be wide, like the foot shape. And that's what so I was like, if I can get like a juti like this, um, on the sole of that water shoe, this will be great. So I don't know how to source that and how to go about that, because white labeling usually is you take somebody else's product that already is, and then you just, you pay whatever the fees are, you slap your brand name on it, and then you sell it, you resell it. So how could we make this work where I can have a shoe that is my design, but uh but I don't have to incur the cost of actually doing all the manufacturing, all the things.
So that's a good question. First of all, I definitely can help you with that. That's something I've been doing for the past 5 years. I would like to know how far are you in the process? Like, have you get some samples already from different suppliers?
Okay, so I have not gotten samples. I've gotten to the point where they asked, and this is the thing, because I didn't want to spend too much money and I don't have the right guidance, because then I'm wasting money and I'm not getting what I want. So I had somebody who was supposed to do a sample for me. They didn't really do the sample. I guess and then I had the person who was supposed to draw up the what do you call it, the specifications to give to the people to so that they can manufacture it. But
Mm-hmm.
they gave me specifications for a regular shoe, and I'm like, this is a regular measurements for a regular shoe. I want a
Okay.
barefoot shoe. So I'm very ground zero in the process. I just got this. I don't want to say samples, but I bought stuff from the supplier in China, and I was wearing them to try it out. And I like the soles, but I don't like the upper. So when I went back to the same manufacturer, and the reason why I didn't move forward with this manufacturer is because I ordered like, I don't know, at least like 10 pair, let's say 10 pair. And I ordered them the same shoe but in different colors. And then I also ordered separately some soles, because these are water shoes. So they have technically like drainage holes in the sole, so you're supposed to wear them in the
Okay.
water, so it helps for it to drain fast, dry fast. But I want to wear them for everyday use. But I like the flexibility of the sole, so I want that sole without the holes. And I they sent me, so I got different colors, all the same size, so that I could wear them. but I
Okay.
got two pair in one color, and they're supposed to be the same size. They say they're the same size, but they were a size larger. So it didn't give me confidence in the manufacturer that I was gonna that it was consistency, because I reached back out to them and I was like, hey, and I showed them pictures with measurements. This shoe says it's a size 38. This says it's a size 38, but this is a whole size larger. And they're like, oh, well, it's because it's with the size. They said something about it's a different color, so something, but it was not an answer that I felt like gave me confidence that if I go with them and order in large quantity, that the sizing would be consistent. So I just
Okay.
kind of stopped there.
So
That's where I am in the process.
to recap, you only talked to one supplier. He
Yes,
sent you a sample. You didn't like it, and you stopped.
yes,
Where was it located?
yes. Where in China?
Oh, it was in China? Okay, because
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was in Vietnam or India. Okay, so it was one Chinese. What year was that?
Uh, Last year.
Yeah, how long ago? No,
Probably like about 10
you
months
said
ago.
this year. You said this year. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh no, sorry, I said last year.
Okay, okay. Oh wow, it's been a long time. So basically,
Yeah, because I didn't have any guidance.
how expensive was the sample?
Well, okay, so I paid about the okay, so for the stuff that I got what they already had. So it wasn't my design, and I paid about, I don't know, maybe like $200 or something like that for the however many pair I got. And
Okay,
then but for one, no, they said they would give me two samples for my own design for $300. Well,
okay.
$300, and if I wanted a special material or something like that, then that would be an extra fee and all that stuff on top of it.
Just for one shoes? One, those for
They
the
said
pair.
they would give me two, and I thought that was expensive for a sample.
So, did you receive the sample?
No, I didn't. The sample would have
Oh,
been my own design, but I
okay,
didn't go that far with them because I wasn't sure how to navigate this process, and I thought it was expensive. And I was like, what if they don't quite get it right? Then what? What's the next step? And so I just kind of, I really, to be honest, I didn't want to be all over the place because my main business that I'm trying to get off the ground is my breathwork and coaching business.
yes,
The the shoes is just kind of like part of, my alignment. So I do my breath work and postural corrective exercises. And I wanted like to have things where people can say, oh, if I tell people, okay, the shoes you're wearing is messing up your posture and your breathing, then
okay,
I want to have an alternative. But I didn't, so it's like a part of like this business, but it's not like my main thing. And so that's why I kind of just put it on the back burner.
okay. I understand where you are now. So, okay, you are at the beginning, and that supplier scared you, and it's pretty normal. We all go through there. I remember the first time I heard about Amazon FBA. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, the order from China, from Alibaba." I was so excited. I went to Alibaba and I looked at different chargers for the phones. I talked to a supplier and they said they were going to send me like, I don't remember the exact amount, either 800 or 1,000 for like $500. I got scared at the moment of paying. I was like, I don't know about this. This
Oh,
sounds shady.
oh
And
man.
then I went and learned the process. I was at the same point as you, just to point out, like, I understand where you are right now, but it's a process, right? When you go to Alibaba, there's a process of vetting those suppliers and qualifying them, then doing business with them. So first of all,
Okay.
you need to make sure that they have trade insurance. Trade insurance is an insurance provided by Alibaba that shows you that the supplier is legit, because Alibaba
Okay.
has a mixture of different vendors and suppliers, and people might easily lose their money because they didn't do the proper vetting. So that's
Yeah.
one thing you need to do. and then you need to make sure that they have the certifications that you can do business with them. And
Oh, wait, what's the certifications? What's that?
I mean, it's not like let me look at a website so I can see what it's not really like a certification, just the vetting process, right? In the beginning,
Okay.
for example, I don't know if iPhone chargers, what I would do, I would just look at the website, and on the left corner, they have all the filters. So I can just click on Trade Assurance, Verified Supplier. Those are the main two
Okay.
that I will click. Then I will talk to those suppliers who are verified and have trade insurance because I don't want to pay.
Gotcha.
A lot of suppliers will prefer that you pay them directly. I don't want to do that. I like to pay them through the platform, even though it costs a little bit more, but it's
Mhm.
secure. I know that my money is protected because when
Right. So
you,
when you say bid them directly, you mean like going to them instead of going through Alibaba?
yeah, like you meet them through Alibaba and then
Uh-huh.
they want you to wire the money directly to their bank account.
Oh, okay. So how then do you okay, so how do you wire it to Alibaba? How do you do it then?
They will send you the bank account information. They have city banks over there, so they will use one of those American banks, and you just wire the money.
Is that
But
safe or you're saying to do it through some other place, to not go directly to their bank?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like doing that unless we already have an established relationship. For the first
Mhm.
couple deals, I go through Alibaba.
Okay, got you. Okay,
So
got you.
that's one risk that you can avoid directly by knowing
So,
having that information of filtering them.
yeah,
You can already be uh, a peace in your mind that okay, now you're doing the right deal. And the
yeah,
other point that I wanted to touch is you just don't want to talk to one supplier.
right.
Maybe what you're doing is hard to find suppliers, but you want to talk to a dozen, like even hundreds, depending on the
So let me
products you're
ask you a
selling.
question. So how do I do so do I create a design brief and then send it to these hundreds of people? Because like for example, and then how would the design brief be so that they know exactly what I'm looking for? Because what I'm looking for is different. And I find that when dealing with people, especially when there's language barriers and stuff like that, I understand that we have the translators, but still sometimes things get lost in translation. I mean, I've been a lot
Exactly.
of places. So
So
I'm like, uh-huh.
in China, there's something they call the guanxi. It's a
Go
way of
on.
them guanxi. It's a way of them doing business, right? You see how I can see how American you are. Like as soon as we started talking, you just went straight to like, oh yeah, my shoes is I want this. You went
Yeah.
straight to the point. It's good in
Uh-huh.
America, but in China, you want to build the relationship first. So you
Okay.
want to talk about how is family, how
Oh,
are you doing? How's
really?
business? So the interesting thing is we're doing the business online. But if it was face to face, the guanchi means they will invite you to the restaurant. They will feed you. You guys going to eat. Sometimes it might take a day. Sometimes it might take a month. Sometimes it might take a year, depending of the type of deal. Like they want to know you so they can build a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. So
How do you spell that? Guanxi?
Uh, I can send that to you later, but
Okay, yeah, you send it to
sure
me
you can
later. It's
find.
okay. Yeah.
It's just a representation of what I was trying to explain, like the idea, right, on how to do business.
Mhm.
And since you go online, yes, you want them to know that you're interested in buying what they're selling because you already saw that they offer that. But you also kind of build that relationship. You don't want to go straight on, boom, this is everything I want. Those are the
Oh.
specifications. And can you give it to me? You want to kind of walk them through, uh,
Mm.
kind of the way we've been talking on school, like message to message, not like an email with everything and all the
Yeah.
packages.
Yeah.
Then, first of all, there's already a language barrier. And if you do that, they might say yes. And you feel happy, right? Because you're like, okay, I put
Yeah.
everything in the package and I gave it to them so they understand what I want. And you just sit there, you relax. And then a year later, they sent you, they sent you an airplane. You're like, I wanted the shoes.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you understand each other. So what I will usually do is, okay, send a little message. Hey, how are you? I see you send them a picture. Like they communicate a lot with pictures. I see
Oh,
you
okay.
sell this. Uh, I'm interested. Can we talk?
Okay.
Like that's an introduction. And send them a lot of pictures of exactly what you want. You don't want to put too many words. Like, oh yeah, my shoes is too skinny at the
Gotcha.
top. I want it a little wider. You don't understand
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah.
You want to send
Okay.
pictures step by step. Take your time. Talk to a dozen of suppliers, and then you vet them right after they give you a quote because the deliverable at that point is a quote. Okay, some of them will deal with you if you order at least 1,000. Some of them will deal with you if you order at least 300. Some of them will deal only with you if you order 10,000, depending, on their scale and who they're dealing with, because you might be talking to somebody who deals with, I don't know, what shoes is at the mode right now.
Nike.
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 Yeah, they don't
It's
want your little
just
1,000 order. They're not
right.
interested. They only talk to you if you order 50,000 plus. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you find a supplier who they call it MOQ, who's gonna be
Yeah.
at your
Yeah.
level, uh, whose communication you like, who you feel like they understand what you want, and in the long run you can work together. So that's how you vet them, and that's a process. It takes time. So it takes
Gotcha.
at least a week to a month, sometimes 6 months, because depending of the complexity of your design, maybe you're just going to get what they already have and put your label, the white label, or maybe you will do the private label, like you're actually changing something. Like you said, the tip point, you don't like it, you want to change it. So that's a big design change. It's going to take time. So that's basically the idea, if you understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then, all right. So then what would be your thing? Like, would you walk me through the process of, um, I don't know, working with suppliers or finding a supplier? And then what? Okay, so let's say I find somebody, we did the guanxi, all the things, and I find somebody I like the communication with, I like with the product they send me. Then what's the next step then? Like how do I sell this to other people? Like, yeah.
I mean, it's a whole business process, right?
Hmm.
And talking to the Chinese is just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you already done your market research to know exactly what you want, to know what the customer, what the problem is, the people with the posture and the shoes and how it's related. Then you move to the Chinese and see if they can do it for you. Then you look for a platform where you're going to sell. Is it Amazon? Is it um I forgot the name. I do Amazon, so I can only guide you on Amazon,
Got
FBA.
you.
So you will have to create an account on Amazon, either professional or personal, and then I mean it's a whole process. There you got to learn the process too, and then that's what I do. But
Got
I
you.
don't think in one
And so,
video I can tell you about all the process, but.
No, no,
That's
I
how
get,
you
no,
put
I
it
understand
in
it.
front of the customers. It takes months to
Yeah, no,
learn.
no. No, for sure. I was just wondering, like the brief version, because obviously we only have 15 minutes, but like your, I guess your your service, right? Like what you do is like
Yes,
you would guide somebody like me. What does the process then look like moving forward? Like how is it? Is it like a coaching basically? Like you walk me through it, like or
yes.
it yeah, so how what would it look like to work with you? Um and yeah, like what would it look like to work with you? Would it be like, okay, we do it onboarding, you take me on as a client, and then you know what I want.
Yes.
Do we establish like a timeline, or do we establish stuff like goals, like how much I'm trying to sell or how much I'm trying to make? Like how involved are you in the process of me doing this? Like, are you just showing me how to uh procure, like find a supplier, or then do you help me find the supplier, then create the Amazon account, then do whatever that process is with the FBA? Are you also then like helping me with, the marketing and the selling of the thing, or are you limited to just like my job is just to get you to this point right here, and this point is whatever that is? Like what does that look like for you? Does that make sense? Is my question clear?
Oh, it's very clear. So
Okay.
basically, my my job for you, like I'm coaching you. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever help you need at any stage, whether it's like uh looking for suppliers, the creative part, talking to photographers or keyword, like all the launching stage, I'll be with you and guide you. It's not just talking about it's not just the part of the suppliers, but I will guide you all the stage, and I will advise you who to work with, because I've been in the business for a while. I know the best people, to do all your creative ideas. If you need a graphic designer, like I said, photographers, I can guide you to the best people that I know. And if you have any questions, we can work on a weekly basis, uh, whatever you feel comfortable with, monthly, I don't know. And, we can just schedule a time.
Okay, cool. So that's what I wanted to like know. Okay, so then how much would it be? Is it like a determined time? I mean, obviously, I guess you can continue longer, but is it like a minimum time? So is it like, okay, if I work with you, it's going to take a minimum of 30 days or 60 days or 90 days? Like, I'm just asking, I don't know what it is, but like, is there a minimum time? And then would I pay by month? Is it pay weekly? Like, what is and then and if we are meeting, let's say for 60 days, are we meeting once a week? And is that like 60 minutes? Is that 30 minutes? Is that 15 minutes? And then is there like homework, like we'll meet and then you tell me, okay, based off of where you are right now in the process, do this, and this so that we can take it to the next level? Like, what does that look like? And do you currently have clients? And if so, what are their like what kind of areas are they looking at? Is it apparel, or is it like electronics, or that kind of thing?
Yes, I understand what you mean. And I mean, the coaching can last as much as you want, a year if you want to, but it will be on a weekly basis. It can be 250 an hour. And
Mm-hmm.
the people that I've been working with, I have some people that I started working with like 2021. Some people, they only needed their first product to be launched and then they stop. Some people, they call it up to a year or more. So it just depends.
Mm-hmm.
And the area where they work, it doesn't really matter. It's the same process. I
Mm-hmm.
have some people
Mm-hmm.
who did the kitchen apparels, some people who did the beads, the thing the women use.
The waist beads, or for hair? The waist
Yes,
beads or for hair?
I think it was for hair.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah.
I mean, it really is the same process. It's just different categories. That's what I'm trying to say. And
Gotcha.
I think I'll answer all your questions. You need
Yeah.
more details on something?
So it's no. I think I got it. So it's 250 an hour.
Yes.
So and so I get to divide that hour. So or amongst, is it weekly or however I need, or bi-weekly, or how, so it's just the
It's
blanket
as
price,
much
yes?
as you need.
And then okay,
It doesn't have to be bi-weekly or
got you.
whenever you need, at least once a week until you
Got you.
move to the next steps. Yeah.
Got you. I'm trying, do you have a website?
I have a website, but it's not for the coaching, it's just for the business.
Okay. Oh, for the business, like which business?
Oh, the Amazon thing. So I sell on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Well, can I take a look at it? What's your website?
Yes, I can send it to you.
Thank
Do you have a
you.
website?
I do. I'm put it in the chat, okay?
Yeah, me too.
But it's not for barefoot shoes. When I put the barefoot shoes, well, I'll have but I don't have anything about barefoot shoes on my site right now because I don't have any shoes to sell them.
Yeah. I mean,
But I really like, and I even like those. Uh-huh. Go ahead. You see?
okay, I see.
Okay.
My wife built websites. I never thought about building a website for the coaching, but if needed.
You should. I mean, if you know, I mean, I don't know what your ultimate goal is, but I think that if you are going to be doing more of this, and I'm no expert. I'm still, I'm just like you. I'm in the coaching group trying to, learn
Yeah.
how to expand my coaching business as well. But one of the things that, if it, if it's worth anything, my opinion would be to have a website so that way you can, because basically, I mean, these are all questions that I'm asking. Maybe somebody else will also have these questions. That way
Okay.
you can have a website that already speaks to these things so that they don't have to, ask
Yes.
you all the time. And
Yeah.
then, and I think also, I don't know how, I know for me, some I don't know if like coaching, when I think coaching I'm thinking a little bit more structure, and this is also for me in my business too. It's just like really getting clear on what the framework is. So, and I understand that things change according to each individual because everybody doesn't want the same thing, but
Mm-hmm.
but like how you said, your process is the same regardless of the whatever the product or the widget is that you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so it's for sure, if your wife can build a website, and you on your website clearly explain your framework, that'll be great right there. Because and then that way you can draw more people to you who are looking for this same thing. Because if somebody's like, yo, like me, I want I want these shoes, but I don't know where to start. And because I started and I didn't like what I got, I just got overwhelmed and then I just stopped, right? So that
Right.
way you can even post ads, like if I'm somebody like me is your ideal client, then you can even speak to that in the ads or on your or the copy on your website can be like, hey, you ever wanted to do Amazon FBA, blah, 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 but didn't know where to begin, da 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 da. And then you get into your whole thing. And then you're like, yeah, well, I so happen to da 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 da. And this is the pricing, this is the program, you know.
Yeah, I
Uh
agree.
yeah.
And I
So
definitely will build a website. It's because I used to have a job. So I
mhm.
recently left my job. Now I have more time to really develop this because I
Yeah.
wasn't taking it seriously. When I started this, even the
Yeah.
coaching, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, just give me 1,000. I'll
Yeah.
walk you through the whole process. I wasn't really
Yeah.
trying to build. And the
Yeah.
more I'm on YouTube, I'm like, wow, people really know how to make an offer out of this, and it works.
Yes.
I just
Yes, and I
bring
think
honestly, my first customers, I just charged them. I was like, okay, give me 1,000. I'll walk you through the whole process and you will.
yeah,
But I
that's
feel
like
like
me too. Yeah, no, same thing with me because what I feel like I'm seeing in you and me too. It's like okay, people are like, oh well, how much does it cost? And then because I did the interview with Matthew last week,
yes.
and he gave me a lot of insight. He gave me a lot of helpful tips on who could be my ideal client and how to structure my program and my coaching framework so that I can reach out to that particular type of client. So that's kind of where I am right now is building things out. And I feel like he gave me I don't want to say a doozy. Like he definitely kind of threw me a little bit for a loop because, you know, Evan's coaching framework is like you want to target, be very specific. And Matthew was like, I'm gonna be honest. He's like, I wouldn't target anybody. He was like, but he kind of, he broke it down. He's like, because everybody could benefit. So he basically was saying, be clear on what my framework is, and then just tell my story to as many people as possible. Put it
Okay.
out there again, like a website or the YouTube channel or whatever, and then see who comes. And
Okay.
then, that's what he told me. But for you as me, as I'm just talking to you, like, like as a person who is interested in this service and as a person who is like your cohort, if you will, in the
Okay.
cohort, in the thing, in the program, I would love it if you could, um, lay develop your framework a little bit more just so that it's clear. And I get it's kind of like we're making it up, right? We're making it up as we go, but based off of your experience and you working with other clients, let's say, and I don't know your stats or anything, but let's say you work with people and okay, you said to me, okay, sourcing a supplier, it can take, time. And then based off of whatever your average time is, because you like it could be a month or it could be 6 months, right? So let's say maybe you in your framework you put, I don't know, 30 to 60 days, if that's a reasonable time, right?
Right.
And if you do these things right here, like you said to me, if you reach out to 100, you said hundreds, but like let's say if you reach out to 100 or 200 suppliers in this time and you send them pictures and you send them like so this is right here, this is your framework, right? So
Right.
you go building that out like that. If you do this and this in this time, you are likely to get to now this next level. And then from that next level, then you know what the levels are and the processes. I don't know exactly what the process is,
Right.
but I would say for you, write down your process, like what is the process and what are the steps. And that way, when you onboard people, like when you have calls like this with people who are interested in your service, now you ask the qualifying questions, like you asked me, like where are you in the process? And you already know, like, oh, I know I have this part, da, 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 is the finding the supplier, then da 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 da, and then okay, sample and whatever the things are, then Amazon, and then whatever with the account, open the account, and da da da, and then marketing, and then da da da, and then launch. Whatever the steps are, just have them clearly delineated so that when somebody comes in, you know where they are in the process, so that you know how to walk them through the process, and you can just tell them like, hey, this is the process. Where are you in the process? How much of my guidance do you need? And then you can just create a program. So like instead of like for me, like you're like, okay, yeah, like it could be weekly, it could be monthly, like whatever you want. You can do that. Right, right. I'm just saying because you got to spoon feed people. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
obviously, like we're coming to you because we need to. We could do it on our own, but it's
Uh,
overwhelming. So do it for us. So that's where you come in and you be like, okay, boom, it's this. We're gonna meet once a week or bi-weekly or what, and then maybe you have tiers. Maybe you have different levels of your coaching package, right? So
yes.
maybe one price is we're meeting weekly for an hour a week, and this is the expected outcome, or based off of where you are in the process. And then yeah, I don't know, I hope that made sense. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. if
I
that
see.
yeah
I see what you mean.
yeah, if that helps you, that way you're coming in and you're solid, you're clear. Now your client is like, oh, okay, now they're confident that you can take them from there to there because you're very clear in your process and how you speak about things, and it's not wishy-washy, and they're like, boom,
Yeah.
all right, I know I'm at this point, and I know that, oh, boy's about to take me to this next part. And how do you say your name, by the way? Is it Frederick or is
Yeah,
it
Frederick.
Frederick? Okay, I just want
Yeah.
to make sure I'm pronouncing.
So I understand exactly what you mean. Like I was more focused on the process of the product, not the process of onboarding you, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well, I mean,
understand.
it's all because you kind of have to do it all both, right?
Yeah.
It's you have to do both because like you gotta what it takes to do the full thing. I obviously don't know because I would have had my shoes by now. But like, you know what I'm saying? But you know the process. And so now think about what that would look like to take me on or somebody
Okay.
else on. And then yeah, like just my 2 cents.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. I
Okay.
really didn't think about all that.
Yeah.
Since it was our first call, I just wanted to see where you are. That's where I focus on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I was just offering it, extra if it
Yeah.
helps
Oh,
you.
thank you. Like
Okay.
it makes sense. Next time I'll be
Okay.
ready.
Yeah. No worries. And this is what this is about. It's about growing and learning from each other.
Yeah.
So I love that. I'm still trying to figure out now because I'm, to be fully honest, I'm new in my business. I just started paying myself like a couple months ago, I guess, through ADP. So my cash flow is looking crazy, like what is life right now? I'm like, I need to get income. Like, so I have to figure out what's priority, what makes sense. I
Yeah.
got somebody, actually, you and I are on this call right now. My business name is Body Chemistry as a play off of my name. And
Mm-hmm.
also, what I do because breath work changes your body chemistry. And so I love the name. I went and trademarked it last year, went through the whole process, and now I get a cease and desist letter from some beach body. Do you know the P90X people? I never heard. I mean, I'm not that I
I
never heard of
don't
it.
I don't know
Right.
them.
So it's like, yeah, I've heard of them. Their fitness, they
Oh
do
yeah, I've heard of them long time ago.
a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't even
So
know they
apparently,
exist again.
yeah. Listen, exactly. I'm like, what? So I guess they trying to rebrand or something, and so their legal name is Beachbody LLC, but they did a DBA. I think it's 20. I try to look it up. It's like 2020, like between 2022, something like that, or maybe 2020 was during the pandemic or whatever. So they trademark the DBA body, spell BODI, and I spell mine BODI body, and then I have chemistry, like my name, and then KEMISTRI. And they sent me a cease and desist letter. And so right now you and I are talking. She sent me their whoever intellectual property person sent me an email just now to follow up because I've been trying to negotiate with them a coexistence agreement and they didn't want to. And they was like, well, you got to change the spelling. But I just got, and I was like, okay, fine. But I also wasn't informed and I didn't know that the trademark with the USPTO, I can't just change the spelling because then it nullifies the trademark
Yep.
because it has to be the exact how you have it
Yep.
there.
Everything.
So, right. So that being said, I have to now, because so, this process steps. So, so it took a year for the examiner to do whatever they did to trademark the thing. Then after that, they publish your trademark in their gazette, and this is now a window of 30 days where anybody can oppose your trademark if they feel like there's infringement. So in this is a formal process that the people would then oppose with the USPTO, but this body company, they sent me an email to my personal email. They didn't send an opposition, like a legal opposition to the trademark. So now the window of that window is now closed. It ended on the 15th of this month. So now the USPTO is like, you're good to go as far as we're concerned. We don't see any conflicts. We've done, we've researched, we and we think that you're good to go. And I don't want any problems because I thought that once the USPTO gave me the okay for the
Yeah.
trademark, that I'm in the clear. But apparently, a company could still file a federal uh, what do you call that? A federal lawsuit claiming trademark infringement.
Wow.
And so I wanted to avoid that. Obviously, they have more money than I do, but they're also I did some research. Their sales are declining, which is probably why they're trying to like grasp at straws and stuff. And basically, they're like bullying. So at this point, I now have to figure out because lawyers are expensive and yada yada. So anyway, they just emailed me right now. I'm on the phone with you, but I'm saying all of that to say, business for me right now, I'm finding myself I don't want to say not overwhelmed, but certainly challenged, especially as far as cash flow goes, because I don't have the cash flow
Yeah.
that I really would like to have to do all of the things. So this is why I put the barefoot shoes on the back burner.
Okay.
So this is also another thing, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna share it with you just because it's transparent, and if it helps you, then I don't know. So like right now, I so I would have to obviously pay you for your time and your knowledge and your services, but then I kind of need to make sense of can I, because you can help me source the thing, but now I got to move the product, right? I have to
Mm-hmm.
sell it. So that's also probably another component in your, again, in your framework, right? Like, I don't, where are you? And that's what I say. I don't know how much you want to coach people on. So this is, you know what I mean? I don't know where your knowledge base is, but if that's also something, because for me, it would be easier for me to say, sure, I'll pay you, Frederick, because I know that once I work with you, you're going to take me to this next level where I have this product. And not only am I going to have this product, but you're going to now, if that's your thing, you're going to help me be able to position myself in the Amazon marketplace or whatever, so that I stand out above the competition, blah, blah, blah. And I'm likely to make this amount of sales because in your experience, this is what people do. Like you can make X amount of money on Amazon, and that's just for you to decide how far you want to coach people, like how far you want to take them, like, where your expertise begins and ends. I don't fully know,
Okay.
but that for me, it would help me like that because it doesn't help me to have thousands of barefoot shoes that nobody's buying for me because now I'm deeper in the hole in business and I don't got no cash flow and I got a bunch of inventory that I'm just sitting on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
So like I
yeah.
said, I can definitely walk you through the whole process. And as we are talking, I found my flowchart process and finding the product, you already have it, choosing the supplier, organizing the shipping, branding the product. We can do
Okay.
all that. Uh, Completing the listing, setting
Uh-huh.
setting up the campaigns for the some sponsor ads. So we can walk through the whole
Okay.
process. And when I was saying the process might take 6 months, it's doing all that until the launch. But when I launched my first product, it took me 2 months.
Oh, really? That's
So
it?
I don't know the complexity of your problem, and I don't know how deeply you want to modify the design. That's what takes time. But just white
Gotcha.
labeling a shoe and sending it to America, it doesn't take more than 3 months.
Okay, so when you do that, then you're trying to now sell it because on Amazon it's like all these supplier. Obviously, I won't be the only supplier of barefoot shoes on Amazon. I will say though that their selection, in my opinion, is a little skimpy. And this, which is why again I haven't found what I'm looking for on Amazon.
Okay.
So that's why, yeah.
So
So
when you say you haven't found what you want on Amazon, you haven't found your competitors?
no. I haven't found. I have not found a barefoot shoe that I love. I found there are suppliers on Amazon selling things that are labeled as barefoot shoes. Do I love them? No. That's what it is. I don't love the shoe that I see on Amazon. So I
Okay.
feel like if I were to put the shoe that I want, the shoe that I design, it'll be the only one on Amazon like that.
Okay. But do they have similar things? Like, do you know at
Similar.
least?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, what I can do is I can try to come up with a list of comparables, like
Yeah.
comps. It's hard. I would say competitors. I don't know if this is like a business term, like or whatever, but I've been saying comparables instead of competitors, just because I mean, are you really competing if you're not even really doing the same thing? But so I'm like comparable. I don't know. Maybe this is just a
Nah,
semantics thing.
let's just use the competitor semantic.
Okay,
Those are
got it.
still your competitors, but
Okay, competitors. I'll come up with a list of competitors so you can see what I'm talking about, and then I'll also send you a I'll try to come up with pictures and I'll see if I can get AI to help me create a something that I want for me. Because I have the shoe, the sole that I have that I love, and then I can take a juti that I love and then see if they can widen it or you know what I'm saying? Like kind of come
okay.
up with a design. Yeah, I'm gonna try that and then see if that puts us in a better place. All right, so cool. So what's the next thing then? Because um I guess yeah. What's the next step from here? Like, how do we want to close? Because I'm just paying attention to the time. I know that
Yes,
we've gone
so
over.
we went a little over, but like I said, we can start as soon as we agree on the coaching plan or program that we were talking about, and we can start anytime. Just let me know. You know my schedule, and
Okay.
if you don't
All
have
right.
the
Cool.
time
So
there that arrange you, just let me know what time works for you.
all right. Cool. Perfect. So what I'll do is I'll also kind of put together maybe like a recap of my takeaway and
Yes,
what I think I need. And then I'll just like email that or write that out or whatever. And you'll look at it and tell me if that works for you. We'll come
yes.
up with an agreement and then we'll see how to move forward. Cause I gotta see cause I'm gonna have a couple of questions, like in terms of like what is the investment? Like obviously I know your price, I got that. But I'm like, what overall am I gonna need to really consider like to put towards this? And then I also kind of would love to know um, just an idea of how much I could make from this. You know what I'm saying? I'll write
Okay.
it out so that it makes sense, and then I'll send that to you. I'll send you a recap, and then we'll take it from there.
I mean, I prepare like a list of things that can help you. I will post it in the chat.
Okay,
And
perfect. All right, but okay, but we're about to get off of here, so you're gonna put it in. How are you gonna send this to me then? Because the chat will be closed. So you
oh,
mean in the chat in school?
I just sent it. If
Oh,
you
you
want,
just sent it. Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah,
got you. Got you. Let me see how I can.
yeah,
Boom, 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 boom. All right, let me copy that. And then I'm gonna put it in a note so I have it later. So she says, okay, let me see. Oh, let me put it right here. Boom. Oh, dang, my battery about to die anyway. Look at that. Okay. So let me see. I'm excited. Like I really, but I'm excited and scared at the same time. Uh,
I mean, that's like I said in the beginning, that's where I was when I first started. When I went to
yeah.
Alibaba.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, what am I doing?
So wait,
But
so you mentioned also Vietnam. So is Alibaba not the only place to source then? Like there are other places that you
I
use
solely
to source?
do China on
Uh-huh.
Alibaba. Like there's different suppliers, but they all in Alibaba. Even if it's
Ah, okay.
in the Vietnam. So depending of you
Oh,
got
okay.
what you want, they all on
Okay, because when I
Alibaba.
was in China, oh my God, that Alibaba, everything is so, I'm just so surprised at how massive and everything is in China. It's like the Alibaba building is like, Jesus Christ, I've never seen a building so big. And
Okay,
then obviously they have multiple. But anyway, okie dokie.
we have more
So
time
I
to
will be
talk.
in touch. Huh?
Okay, I said we'll
All
have
right.
more time to talk.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Well, take
Yeah.
care until the next time.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.